Welcome back to the North American LCS. The teams are readying up on stage for round 2 between Phoenix One and Team Liquid. A fairly close game 1 here, but Liquid did come through with the victory in the first one.
Yeah, and it really did look promising for them. I'm excited to see if they come out in game number 2 with the same sort of dedication and game plan, are able to execute, because it looked like they were very focused in game number 1.
They really were, and I want to talk about their, I guess, new mid laner walking in stage right now, Slushie, because if you look at his stats, it looks terrible. If you look at his stats and you're like, oh, his laning stats, he is by far the worst laning stats for mid laners in North America. But there's a caveat here. He has only played, until this match, against Jensen and Froggen, who are the best laners statistically in the North American LCS. So it's unfair to be like, I can't believe you even let him play. He's getting smashed in lane. Well, everyone gets smashed in lane by those guys.
I think that last game is going to have some positive effects on his stats. Slushie was definitely instrumental in that victory. Huge game on Orianna. Definitely deserving of that MVP of the game.
Yeah, absolutely agree. He was super, super good, and I know the analysts talked about it, but the debate between was it Slushie or Reignover who deserves the primary praise for this one. I mean, everyone else did their role, of course, but the fact that Slushie was just consistently so good throughout the game, did the carrying, did the most damage, I'm almost certain on that one. And even the rest of the team was able to do their job pretty well. Conquan came in, and he's a player that I'd never seen do very well in the LCS. He'd always been in bottom-tier teams, and maybe he still is, but he actually played very, very well in that game. Had some really nice flash ults. He was part of that engage that kind of guaranteed the shockwaves were going to land. He'd get like a 2-3-man wild growth by using Reignover. He was very solid. Lorla went unkilled, held off his matchup, without any issues really at all, and was always there in the team fights when needed him.
All right, let's take a look here. If Phoenix One decide to, very quickly our questions have been answered. Olaf, number 1 ban versus Reignover.
The Ice Viking is gone. Zach, no surprise here from the red side, but yeah, that's the question. It really is. Why ban a contested champion when you can ban something that only one team plays? And good that Phoenix One learns their lesson. And we've seen plenty of best of 3 reverse sweeps. It's always within possibility that Phoenix One closes one out.
Plus the fact that I merely just think that Reignover plays as Olaf much better than he plays the new Rek'Sai.
I agree.
And it's just 100% in all aspects of the game better ban versus him.
Yeah, I agree with you completely here on this one. LeBlanc off the table, away from Slushie. No Galio allowed for Zig here, and wait to see what the last few bans are going to be.
Interesting to see if they feel like Shen separated from Olaf is an issue or not, because Shen is also a very common ban. People, when they identify that teams can use it well and they like to do a lot of cross-map stuff, then they ban it out. But Team Liquid didn't really use it for much cross-map advantage, much split-pushing advantage, much side wave management. It was mostly about just dive buddy with Reignover, and that half of that is already gone.
Okay, so we'll see what comes through into this one. It's going to be the Rek'Sai. Mike Young going to bring it out here. The Lee Sin's available. The Nidalee's available. He said, I'd rather play Rek'Sai and try to take it away from Reignover.
And it's fun to watch that so many junglers are hyped up about, the increase to the assassination potential of this champion. To me, she seems a little bit one-dimensional. There is slight outplay potential with your ultimate and dodging something, but it's mostly about, can you have a good early game? Can you snowball? If those are both yes, then you can kill carries by yourself as a jungler, and that's a very rewarding feeling. So I definitely understand why so many of the LCS junglers are putting such a high priority on it.
And it's a champion I think it's very fun to see. I tend to enjoy watching Warrior enchant junglers in the LCS. Like, I don't personally mind seeing Lee Sin every other game because he's fun to watch for, and I think Cinderhulk Rek'Sai was not that, but I think Warrior Rek'Sai certainly can be. Gragas picked up on the table. Another tank support here for Conquan, actually going over to the Braum. Not the Lulu he played in the last game. And turns out that Phoenix One may look for that Threshing special. After all, it had received a ban in the previous game. And especially going to play his first Thresh game of the split on Phoenix One.
And what I'm looking for Phoenix One is kind of still drafting to the strengths of last game. Drafting some super hard engagement. Thresh is semi, is really good follow-up engagement. He's great at playmaking and good at saving people, but Rek'Sai's not really that anymore. So I still think that if they want to have basically or take a page out of Liquid's book from last game and use that sort of strategy, then there would be another piece to this puzzle.
Sure.
To still draft for them. Team Liquid, for themselves, yes, Gragas can have those really big initiations and can have those very high highs for playmaking, but it is very much less reliable than the Olaf running in with Shen on his back.
Absolutely agree. So we'll see if those plays come through. Later now as the final pick comes in, and Slushie going to play Orianna as a blind pick mid, but 2 bans available means they can get
Yeah,
rid of the counters.
and that's the trend that I really think carries a lot of weight in the new pick ban. It's technically we've seen all these people, oh yeah, blind picking last pick mid laner on red side, and yet there's still another phase of banning to come through. So it's this protected blind pick basically, where now you get to ban out the Syndra, now you get to ban out the counters that you're worried about into that, and it's a nice little wrinkle that pretty much every team has really caught on to now for the red side, and we are seeing it very frequently to get people champions that they have mastery on, basically a lot of specialty on, yet they're unwilling to really go round 1 in the pick phase and leave up a lot of the counters.
We'll see what comes in next for this one, because the Kog'Maw off the table actually. Looks like Phoenix One maybe concerned over Liquid going for another protected piglet composition with a Brahmin Orianna. You think it's got to be a possibility. They had rush pick the Caitlyn last time around. No Shen allowed for Zig. Looks like they want to maybe keep that Gragas in the top side and wait on a jungle pick a little bit later on. Reinover famously not much of a Lee Sin player, and maybe not going to go for the Elise either, though he has played it.
Yeah, still keeping the threat of flexibility here with Gragas all the way till the end, it looks like.
Phoenix One remaining, thinking that maybe this Gragas is flexible. The Fiora actually adding as a Phoenix one-sided ban. Lolo has played it twice, so it's not out of the blue. Piglet hovering the Vayne, back to the Kalista. Kalista much more likely. Locks that one in. Kalista Braum in the bot lane can be very, very scary, absolutely.
Oh yeah, so much chase potential with that. And you definitely, whenever you see a matchup like that, you would expect, some jungler, priority on the bottom lane, because these are some heavy trading bottom lanes with a lot of crowd control that could definitely, spark some kills down on that side of the map.
Absolutely, 3 seconds to go for this one. What does Phoenix One want to grab? And they're going to actually semi-blind the Rumble top lane again. Oh, no, back to Renekton. Okay, they feel like they were really debating what they wanted to go for. Gragas
They are
could go
very
top.
AD heavy now.
Yeah.
So if they had the Rumble, then you would have more of a balance in your damage profile. But as Rek'Sai is now pretty much semi-AD assassin, or at least AD assassin for the first half of the game until you have to start building tank later on, which you do eventually. They are going to be very, very attack damage focused, and Ahri herself is, more on the single target side, more of a focused magic damage on maybe a target or 2 with some pass through, not like any sort of Cassiopeia, which Cassiopeia you feel very comfortable as your only source of magic damage, because everyone has to respect that in team fight. But we probably will see more armor stacking here from Team Liquid.
Yep. I think it's very likely.
On their front line.
Gnar comes in
Oh, baby.
for Lorlo. I have not seen that champ in quite some time. And
Been waiting for it.
here, yeah, has received several changes over the last several months. Minor buffs and things and tweaks and whatnot. So maybe back in action here.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where it seems like Balance wanted to nudge him back into the game. So little buff here, nobody played him. Okay, another little buff. Okay, nobody's played him yet. Okay, another little buff. What's going to push him over the edge?
Yeah.
And I really thought the last one was going to do it. I think that this is a good matchup to actually do it in, because Renekton is so difficult to deal with pretty much all top lane champions, has so many good matchups. That's why it's so often picked early. But Gnar in mini form is so annoying for the Renekton. And then you also have your transformation for the team fight power. And it does give them that hard engage that they were so successful with last game.
Absolutely. So Lolo bringing out the first Gnar of the NALCS summer split here into this one. Gonna see how well that one works out on this. Of course, Thresh here to land people to safety. Ahri, the only magic damage on the Phoenix One roster, hoping to win 2 straight to make this their second match win of the summer split. And Liquid bringing out their first Gnar. The Gragas flex down to Reinover. Another Orianna for Slushie. And Piglet bringing in his Kalista as they keep the same lineup as the previous game. We'll see if this Lightning can strike twice and if Liquid can find their second match win as Game 2 begins with Phoenix One taking on Team Liquid.
All right, let's see if the junglers actually go to mid lane again and we see a similar camp from both sides, or if they actually try and target the top lane, because I want to bring back an old interaction that was very common last year when Gnar was super prevalent. Rek'Sai, one of the best junglers into Gnar because you can unburrow if he ever tries to hop on you. One of the biggest escapes for Gnar when he's getting ganked is to hop right on the jungler's head to bounce out. And Rek'Sai has a very easy counter to that with the unburrow. So if Rek'Sai is able to slip through any of the many possible gank routes that she has with the possibility of her tunnels behind Lorlo, as annoying as the mini Gnar can be in lane phase, if Renekton has any sort of support, it also doubles as a vulnerability.
Absolutely the case. We're going to see what comes through onto this. Zig. All right. Lola thought about healing back up. Actually takes another Q to the face, so Lola will not be quite full HP to start at the laning phase. Zig. Not quite going to get the slice there.
Yeah. I mean, you heal off of the unempowered Qs as well. People sometimes forget, because it is a lot less, but Zig back to full here. Has got his Doran shield regeneration going as well. And we'll have a very minute lead in the lane to start out.
Let's see what comes into this. 1:30 into the game. Minions coming in, and looks like Ahri will leash. And
Can he steal a Raptor?
Orianna the same. All right, Zig, what you got?
He's going in for it. Uh-oh. Is he going to
Q.
die for it? He's so deep.
He's got one. Not going to get the second. The slow's going to miss from Rainover. He wanted to go for the camp instead, and now Zig is auto-attacking Slushy, who doesn't have any armor. Zig half health, but will slightly slow Rainover.
All right. Now, I fully expect Mike Young to pay him back, because that was a big health sacrifice to delay Rainover. You know, it is definitely difficult for Gragas. He doesn't hit level 2 off the camp now, and is going to slow him down a lot. And that could ensure that the interaction we talked about with Rek'Sai comes on display in the top lane versus Lorlo.
But the difficulty is that Zig lost all 3 melee minions for gold and XP by doing this. So he is half a level behind. Even if the entire... Yeah, he'll level up like as the entire second wave is cleared, but honestly a significant deficit to him.
And that's not discounting the first deficit that we already went over. That's in addition to it.
Yeah.
That he's heading into the lane down this. Renekton should be fine, though. Bounce back as soon as he gets level 2 off of that wave.
Can he steal it? Yes, might. No, he can't. Okay, nice try. But Xpecial sees where he's going, sees the 8 CS, knows that Wolves are dead as well, and back to the top side goes Rainover.
Mike Young actually just a bottom side clear here for Rek'Sai. Makes me wonder if he really wants to take advantage of, you know, Thresh Lantern, because there is huge playmaking, and I was expecting maybe some jungler visit later on in the game with the, you know, the kill pressure of these bottom lanes, but looks like he's not even going down there. So an interesting route actually from Mike Young, a little bit out of the way there, but is eventually going to end on the top side. And, you know, may see some convergence here with Rainover as well doing the Krugs currently.
Gonna smash in for a bit of damage right there. Gets stunned, though, and Zig gets no trade.
Yeah, a little bit of a poor timing there from Zig. Just on the edge of it, gets clipped, so he wasn't able to get his trade off. And Lorlo happy about that one. Back to the mid camp instead.
Mike Young might have got seen by the drink before.
He did.
Yeah.
Whenever you're going for this. Oh, he stunned a minion.
Unlucky. Zig misplaying a bit.
Yeah, that's 2 misplays in a row, and Rainover wants to punish him for it.
Now still waiting in Fog of War. He knows he can't slink into the brush and just walks away. No gank to be had.
Whenever you're going for that gank on mid lane, by the way, there's no reason not to hug the top side of the ramp. Because any wards in the brush around mid lane do not ever see the top little edge of the ramp, and you can hug the side that's away from the bush right there every single time, because mid laners so often will ward in this brush almost every single time, and you can still, you know, sneak behind them.
Looking for a bit of a steal right there. Gonna grab 3 of the small raptors. Smite goes over Rainover, but hey, part of the camp's still gone. Nice little cheeky semi-invade. 200 gold advantage for Phoenix 1 right now. Zig holding up pretty nicely against Lolo despite missing his melee minions at the very beginning of the game.
He is going to be exhausted now in mini Gnar form, which is squishy, but it's still a bit risky to go for this. Yeah.
Just some poke, and Mike Young uses 250 health for that.
And he's going to go back anyway, so like the health cost isn't any big, but let's see what happens on bottom side, because more important than your health cost for going for that is revealing yourself. And we do have Rainover on the bottom side who
He'll get raptors for it.
Slips right back out. Does have a ward in on that side as well, and second raptor spawn is very valuable, so gonna end up costing you. This is kind of classic Reignover. He'll take his toll. You reveal yourself, it's gonna steal a camp.
112 gold and about a third of a level going to go to Reignover as a result of this play. Real going to knock him down, and all the damage that he needs is there. Mike Young, I think, realizes this. He knew the Gragas was bot side, so he's going to take Wolves. Expect his Raptors to be gone. Hook's going to land, but there's no follow-through because the minion wave is too big. They're going to go for a special. Actually, pretty big damage there. Shields up and walks away.
Yeah, they were threatening the stun as well. One more auto attack would get it, but interrupted recall is just fine for Piglet. He'll continue farming. Kalista can buy so many little pieces. Not too big of a deal for either of these AD carries. They both pretty much have smooth build paths.
Yeah, Twitch has still been a Ruin King user for the most part, especially because his landing phase is weak. You want the lifesteal, even though Infinity Edge might be optimal for DPS. You just can't get away with it usually.
Yeah, we have seen at least one Infinity Edge crit build Twitch, and it definitely has its benefits for you know, the big crits there for the team fights. But I tend to agree with you as far as I'm in the camp of needing that lifesteal, and it really feels so good on Twitch to have the one item power spike with that major potential.
Flash double play. Piglet with a cheeky flash to the left-hand side, but now there's no escape tools, so a quick jump from Mike Young means first blood going over to Phoenix 1.
And there's the Lantern being put to good use. Thresh is so ridiculously flexible in the bottom lane. Almost always has, you know, the threat of these ganks. And that's why we'll even see people throw out fake dark passages sometimes backwards toward their jungle to get the enemy team guessing and kind of keep them on their toes. This one, not a bluff though. Mike Young is there, and that means that he also gets to save his gap closer for the flash from Piglet. So they're able to get out the summoner spell as well. Really good flash play there from Xpecial because they know that Phoenix 1 literally just have more cards. They have more gap closers. There's no way that Piglet can survive that. It's just a matter of how many do you want to trade. My flash for your flash? Fine.
Right, and that's the beautiful thing. It was one flash for one flash. Mike Young was able to tunnel to close the gap back again, so he's still got that one for the next Lantern play to flash on Burrow once again, and Piglet might just die a second time pretty quickly. We'll see if that play comes through. Ryu trading pretty well with Slushy. Here comes the attempt. Nice little flash to buy some time. Charm's gonna land. Here comes the follow through. The kill is gonna be there. But a great knockback by Reignover. Trades it 1-for-1. No assist over to Slushy, but at least a traded kill.
Yeah, jungler flashes are expended. Money on their side does end up going to Reignover instead of the mid laner. So this isn't gonna be, you know, similar to last game where Slushy was getting a lot of the early cash in from the kills around mid lane. Zig here, trying to see us under turret, goes for a little bit of an empowered trade. Sacrifices
some farm?
I think it was 2. Maybe it was only one of those ranged minions, but sacrificed 2 of them just to go for that trade. Take another look at it here. Could have been an earlier flash for Mike Young to commit to this right there as soon as Slushy flash, but he doesn't go for it until the charm lands. And I think either way, Reignover would have been in range to go for the counter there, so
yeah,
not really a big deal.
But still, plus this for Phoenix 1 means a nice play for these guys. Mike Young trading his flash with Slushies essentially. Reignover grabs the red buff and tries to stay on the map.
So he traded it with Slushies and Reignovers.
You're right.
It ends up still being a 2-for-1 since Ahri, you know, ultimate means that Ryu doesn't have to.
Yeah, I missed that. That's my fault. And there we go. Back in the bot lane. This time it's a flashless Mike Young, but maybe they can get that repeat gank. Piglet is 6 Conquan, not just yet, but he will in a couple seconds, and there it is. So ulti's available. Stymies a lot of the gank power. Now that Braum is level 6 as well, he's very good into Twitch. I've seen Twitch into Braum several times because the laning phase isn't too scary, but
it's
he
also
blocks so many of his tools.
Yeah, so it's funny to me because people always bring up, oh yeah, you're gonna block the ultimate, you know, and they're gonna explode on him. I just always focus on the Braum still getting melted. Like, as the Twitch is unloading into him, it's funny to me that the Braum still goes down. But yes, that's the whole point of the character, right? You're sacrificing the front line there for your back line.
Yeah.
And, you know, at least the shots aren't passing through.
Mm-hmm. And also, I just feel like the gank assist is so good. Twitch has very bad escape tools, and Braum can flash Q, can flash R, flash exhaust, auto attack. And Twitch has to basically trade flash to get out. But we've seen many teams happy to play Twitch into it. I'm just a little surprised. And we'll see if it works out for him.
Really like the river control here from Phoenix 1. It was a power move there for Mike Young, Xpecial, and Ryu walking through the river to retain their control wards and clear out a little bit of the vision. They also are able to get out that Gragas ultimate, which reduces a bit of the threat of his gank. Since he doesn't have flash now, you you kind of are only worried if he has body slam and his ultimate.
Right.
Because now, without ultimate or flash, it's just a very fat man.
And those aren't always scary unless it's sitting on you.
Sometimes,
which,
though.
You know, Rainover might try to do. Who knows? I guess the sumo wrestlers would be scary. I wouldn't want to fight a sumo wrestler. That'd be hard.
Who? Never mind.
No, go ahead. What you got?
I was going to be like, all right, what is Freak's ideal fight then?
A Teemo-sized horse.
Okay.
Because they're not probably that scary.
Well, Ryu might actually do a surprise low gank on the Rain over here. Jumps over to find him. I think they were looking for Lorlo, and happy little coincidence there that they found Rain over and dissuade him from going any further in the possible top camp.
Just doing some tricks, spinning the barrel around and back. He goes into his side of the map. So we just have this simple 300 gold for Phoenix. One nice shockwave, and here comes Mike Young. The charm is there, and he thought it was a good play, and it didn't even matter. Down he goes in the mid lane.
He's able to land a really good chunk onto Ryu, and you can't really blame him, right? You see an opening, you don't have vision over on that side. He doesn't feel like he exposed himself, but
He just dies.
that's the problem with Rek'Sai. Control word in the side brush. Ryu actually still has his ulti.
Well, he's in a bit of a 1v3, 1v2, gets an ignite on a Rainover, pops his shield, divides his time. Mike Young, I believe the damage was blocked by the shield from his body slam or his ulti. And if a shield blocks the Rek'Sai damage, you don't get the mark to ult in. So.
I think it even hit him.
Oh, it didn't even hit him?
He didn't want to go in. You're not going to sacrifice
okay.
for that kill. That would have been
All right.
probably a one-way ticket for Mike Young.
That's fair. He lands that Q on Lorlo. Might not go for that either. Here comes the knockup chain. That's why they picked Kalista Braum together. Stun's going to land, and Xpecial just can't get away. There's the kill picked up. A quick exhaust for Conquan, maybe more than was needed. So they get the kill in the jungle.
Exciting trades going on here, but on the top side, Lorlo's flash was forced out. He did not die, though, and they're trying to burn down the turret before he gets back, but now he might.
Knock up the damage is there, and we know that Rek'Sai can keep the chase going. That ult is going to be a kill. Zig! Zig's going to die for it. Mike Young, where? Oh, he's on cooldown. I'm actually silly. The ult was on cooldown. I missed that one out, so the damage wasn't there the whole time.
Oh, my goodness. Lorlo gets the 1v2 outplay. They tried to kill him earlier. He survives with his flash, then teleports back in to not only defend the turret, but destroy their attackers as well. And Team Liquid kind of thundering back here with a chase down in the bottom lane. Piglet and Conquan getting one for themselves. And then topside outplay here from Lorlo on the Gnar. And this counter pick is doing work for him.
It really is looking nice right now. 15 minions lead, the kill is there.
He has gotten no help in the top lane. Into the Renekton matchup here. And this is post-survival. I actually kind of wanted to see how he survived and how his flash was blown earlier. But here's the chase down. You can tell his Gnar is moving up, and it's a little bit random, so you can't completely count on securing it there. But one more auto attack. He gets it, goes Mega, snags the kill.
Yep. Still gonna lose the turret, though.
Yeah, in the end, still gonna lose the turret, but he's got his kill. He's got his decent amount of CS, and he's on the way to the Black Cleaver, which Frozen Mallet people always talk about as, oh, it's so annoying for melee champions, facing Gnar with that. But the Black Cleaver speed is enough to, get him in range for consistent boomerang slows, which isn't as, impressive in the 1v1. But I like Black Cleaver so much more in the team fighting phase for him that this is my personal favor. I can definitely see still why people, also go with the Frozen Mallet on Gnar for the pure split pushing and chasing people down, but
You may still buy it later.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you could go both. Why
Of
not
course.
both, Freak?
Yeah, there's no reason not to go both. They're great items. It's wonderful, Kobe.
Uh-oh, now how can he deal with a 3 versus 1, maybe a 4 versus 1? He is pretty screwed.
Tired, he's charmed, he's venomized, and the kill gonna go to Ryu. Snags with an auto attack, his first of the game, 102 on the Ahri.
And you can only say, he's not getting that much help so many times before you're like, all right, he is overextended. No turret, he's past the pink ward of the enemy team, and he gets rightfully punished.
Wow, speaking of punishes though, 2 flashes down, Hook's gonna land as well, and not long for the world. Conquan about to be slain, and Arrow gets the last.
Doing there?
He was helping Slushy, who had a flash away from Mike Young as well, but it was a 4v2 in the mid lane.
All right, well, Phoenix One are going to take that help and take down another turret here. Game number 2, they do not want to give this over to Team Liquid.
Yeah.
And I want to extend this one. Cloud Drake is on the table. There's a lot of minions to clean up on the bottom side.
Yeah, most teams rather get the minions here right now. Bot lane turret yet to fall. Figlet has gotten some alone time down there. 15 minion lead as a result. Bruin can get closer to being done. But yeah, nothing too big just yet. Phoenix One certainly firing back a lot better than they were in game one. See if they can grab much more into this. If they can keep the pressure going, they certainly have the tools to keep the aggression on.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at this Twitch gold. Will he be able to complete?
Anything's 8,900?
Yes,
He doesn't
sir.
have, yeah.
All right, now you have that threat, right, of the invisible Twitch that can go accompany either of these very strong, kill threat laners. Renekton or Ahri may at any point have a Twitch behind them. Right now we're seeing the objective trade, and this is kind of the intended design where top side here, Rift Herald being traded for the Cloud Drake.
Absolutely right here. 2,000 gold up though, and you imagine it's going to go a bit further with the Rift Herald being used at some point in the next 4 minutes. Clouds are going to be underrated, but we'll see if Liquid can do anything with it right now because they are on the back foot and they might not find their way back in for some time. Maybe it comes through the Gnar, maybe it does come through Lorlo. But so far, not yet. Cleaver now done. Another Ruby Crystal. Might just go for tank stats right now because he got that extra cloth armor.
And remember, as we said in Champion Select, this is a very attack damage focused Phoenix One lineup. So the tank stats that you mentioned are going to be prioritizing towards armor for Team Liquid early on, or at least they should be, because Ryu is the source of magic damage, and Ahri is an assassin, so more single target focus right now, though.
And that single target focus has been had. Zig lands the empowered stun. Easy follow-up for Ryu. Now a fight in the bot side. They're going to knock back Arrow for a bit of time. The special ult hits. Going to buy some, but here comes the auto attacks. The Hurricane in. They're looking for the kills. And yes, gets up one for himself, but it's a trade as Arrow gets one back. And now Rainover and Conquan forced to run a knockup for Mike Young. A double kill for Arrow. Make it a third. That one comes to Mike Young. 3-1.
And Phoenix One, remember, they can use the Rift Herald while everyone on Team Liquid is dead. There it is. This is the activation you like to see just to get really powerful pushing here. They'll definitely be able to get an objective off of the back of that win. So a bunch of kills, also some more map to work with, and this is the way you like to see teams snowball.
All three outer turrets down. We'll see if they agreed for bot lane 2. It'll be a bit harder to kill.
Big chunk out of it, maybe.
Yeah, they'll get it to half. And we'll see as the teammates come in for more damage. The two bruisers, Zig and Mike Young. Well below half HP, but here comes Kalista, and that means that the turret will stay at that 1/4 mark.
Phoenix One definitely 4,000 gold lead here to work with in the mid game. Twitch already Blade of the Ruined King completed, so he is fully operational. Ahri Assassination we've seen on display, and the Orianna does not have flash this time around still. Has the cleanse, but that is it. It's just comboed right here. No point in actually blowing it in that anyways, because they will be able to finish you. No escape to complement your cleanse. Yep, Arrow's going to get knocked out on the side here. Even though that misses, Espresso still gets knocked up, but immediately Mike Young focuses in onto the threat. Piglet goes down, and they're able to clean up the rest of the two.
And it seemed like Unbreakable was down almost that entire time from Conquan. He cast it so late, I imagine it came back from cooldown and wasn't able to block much from Arrow, who just explodes on a Slushie, puts him down to 500 HP, and out goes Liquid. This Twitch is certainly online.
All right, plenty of control words, creeping in here for Phoenix One as well. So again, the threat that we talk about with Twitch going invisible behind an Ahri, behind a Threshook, or even the Renekton, they can walk through your jungle unseen as well. And the territory that Team Liquid have the capabilities to defend is kind of shrinking to pretty much around their turrets at the moment.
Yeah.
The deep vision they have in the river is kind of a remnant of the past, where that's not really the territory they're going to be fighting in anymore, as all of Phoenix One are pressing in.
Yeah, it's all about the jungle control right now, and if they're going to hope they keep Vision alive, they do have the two Sight Stones, one from support, one from jungle. Shotgun going to whip, and ooh, wow, Ryu gets the outplay turret plus the solo kill.
Either flash used from either mid laner here. Zig going for the 1v1 with Lolo.
Looking for the plays, but down to half HP on both, and Lolo able to kite back. Quick red buff going to be grabbed. Arrow gets it. Nice hook. Gets away from Brahm's Q, but here comes the fight. The re-engage play. Only buys a second or two. This is certainly curtains for Xpecial. Down he goes. His third death of the game.
Gold back over to Team Liquid. Lorlo on the offensive as well.
Get this. Hyper, yep, he gets the solo kill, and that is the reason for the pick. Zig knew it was not worth flashing, and he couldn't make it come through. No Frozen Mallet needed.
Yeah, it's the classic kite matchup here. Just using your range, staying on that very short Gnar, mini Gnar ranged attack with the boomerang, kiting around Renekton, you know, keeping him at that very safe distance. And it's so frustrating for the Renekton player, for Zig there, because constant slows from the boomerang and Hyper plus the Black Cleaver speeding up Lorlo.
He's a quick one, absolutely. So Zig gonna lick his wounds, and now you gotta wonder if Phoenix One might start running out of options, because if Lorlo wins the 1v1, and he's a better team fighter, at a certain point, what do you even do anymore on Zig's side? You thankfully have a gold lead for your team. You're up 5,000 gold. You imagine just showing up might be enough. But no, life got more difficult for Zig.
Lorlo is the hope for Team Liquid, but
yeah,
you know, the hope, that's kind of one out of all 10 players right now. Slushy, who was doing so well last game with all the focus that Team Liquid threw at him, you know, they threw a lot of their resources towards the mid lane. This time around, it's the opposite story. 0-4 here into Ryu's Assassin, as the Ahri has found her mark again and again. Again, it's the dangerous territory here, because Phoenix One controlling the vision after taking all of those outer turrets, and Team Liquid have to go as a 5-man squad to try and get some of the vision back for themselves.
that's what they get. The vision coming in, got Scuttle, Mountain Drake up at 10 seconds, Baron alive, and Phoenix One, just they have the cards, and as long as they can outpace Lorlo in kind of a 5v1 in a certain sense, they're gonna be okay with this one. Special has the nice passive shield from the Relic. Kind of nice support quest done a little while ago. Kanquan just finished his as well, so they both got those shields. A bit tankier for the supports. Quick pick up there. Mountain Drake is gone. And that's going to help them close out the game with the gold lead they have. It really only matters if you are winning, and they are. Charm going to land it. Beautiful, Ryu. Well done. Looks like Mike Young now moving into tank stature as he picks up the Giant's belt. Yeah, pretty standard, the Warrior Black Cleaver. We have seen other builds. We've seen like Cinderhulk, Tiamat, and things like that out of this champion. But I'm a fan of the Warrior Cleaver.
I am too, and most of it is because it follows the path of the game. Early on, you want to take advantage of, you know, everybody's spread out. In lane phase, everyone's naturally spread out, so you get skirmishes that are 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2 or something like that, and you don't have to worry about your defenses as much. The reason you buy, you know, more of those defenses is usually for 5 on 5s, where you're getting hit by multiple people. But in the smaller skirmishes, building Warrior early, not only is it incredibly efficient, one of the most efficient sources of attack damage you can get early on in the game, but it really does play exactly into that style. You don't really have to build the tank stats till later on when you actually have to tank.
Absolutely the case, and he's going to try to do that next step. Quick pick up on the Scuttle here for Ryu as we continue to watch how well Phoenix One can shot call from ahead. I don't know if they're on exactly a ticking clock or anything, because they do have Twitch. You know, we can talk about it being an all-physical team and whatnot, and that can be scary, but it's double Black Cleaver for Armor Shred. Twitch exists, period. That's already a scaling point in yourself, and you know, with the gold lead, that could feel pretty good for this squad. 4,500 up, red buff to Arrow. Unkilled so far in this game, had a solid laning phase.
Yeah, not only is it a Twitch, it's a 3-kill Twitch here. And even though he's down to a little bit of CS there, he's still feeling very good about the state of the game.
Yeah, he's 300 up on Piglet right now, so farm versus the assists and the extra turrets on the one side. Here comes the attempted play, though. The flash body slam is in, especially going to cut out of this one, and not a lot of places to go for him. They continue to find the kill on this Thresh. The Kalista, the Braum, the Gragas, always making it happen.
All right, only the body slam of Reignover used there. A couple of ultimates, but those are pretty short cooldowns, and
His flash too.
that's what I said at the beginning.
Oh, you said body slam. I think you misspoke.
Flash of the body slam.
Oh, I misheard you. Okay, my fault. I'm making mistakes. My bad, Kobe. I should have known not to count you out on this. Mike Young slinking around the wings. Doesn't see any motion. The sensor not quite that long. But hey, Liquid just slinking in little bits of kills at a time. They're getting just small little bits toward them. We get to watch this top lane fight again, as instead it's Lorlo running away. He's got that mallet. He's got a level. He's got a chain vest. He's almost found a Twitch.
Twitch might need another partner though, because Lorlo is the strong one, right?
Goes down 3 levels.
This is definitely the guy that you want to give a little distance to.
All right, fine.
2v1, happy to take it.
Yeah, gonna work out.
Even with red buff though, gets a little dicey.
Absolutely true. Oh, Reignover is back to the same play as before. He's got himself the very early pickup on the Knight's Vow. Again, it gives CDR, so it feels pretty good. And now bidding on towards his possibly Spirit Visage is next step. It's Ruby Crystal plus the Null Magic Mantle, so you expect that to be the case. Or Kindle Gem, I should say.
And I think that Team Liquid, even though they don't have too many options, they are sticking to their game plan once again, right? I mean, the options aren't very bountiful, but they got to keep Team Liquid. I mean, they got to keep Lorlo split pushing on that bottom side and hope that he can get them back some gold. The problem is, all vision control around Baron is Phoenix 1. So you have one Scrying Orb from Slushy to try and check. Reignover gets a control ward in there. That'll help out. Buy some time.
Nice hook. Can they make the play? A little bit of a flay. Doesn't mean too much, though. And the Lorlo split push continues as bot lane turret dies.
And they were able to buy enough time, so some gold back for themselves. And that's kind of what they have to do. Stick to him in the side lane. Earn a little bit of money back for themselves so they can actually fight this.
Are you concerned yet, though? Because Lorlo is starting to really win this and make these things happen. Mid lane now under fire for a little bit. Liquid, all they're trying to do is buy some time. The Gnar heading back up through the jungle as Zig has been sent bot lane. Ryu looks for the flank, though. Could be a 4-on-4. This could work well. Charm's going to land. 1/4 of Reignover's health is gone. I just wonder if Phoenix 1 becomes concerned. If they can't close this game out, can Lorlo split push to entirely a 1v5 victory? Orianna's got wave clear, so this is pretty safe. So can Braum.
Really going to depend on the dance around Baron.
Yeah.
Because Renekton can easily hold a turret, right? You talk about scaling out of control to win a game. To me, Gnar's not really that. Because with Fiora, she gets to this point where even if you're trying to defend a turret, exactly, she'll kill you under the turret or, take pot shots on the turret and then heal back up off vitals and minions. But Gnar is such short range that it's a lot more difficult for Gnar to actually win through split pushing, and Gnar's split push is so much more about setting up for good positioning for objectives and teleporting in for a team fight or something with Mega.
And he is building towards team fighting now, right? Gargoyle Stoneplate added. Like, if he really wanted a split push to win, you could see him going like Ruin King third and saying, I'm only going to fight Renekton. I will 1v1 the entire game, and that's how I'm going to win. But he is building towards the team fight. I just wonder if that's going to work against the Twitch is all. It's I'm trying to figure out like
who's got flash?
Right,
ready for it?
Sure, right? And it's like, what does the game look like? Does Rek'Sai get outscaled by Gragas enough? Does Orianna outscale Ahri enough? Being the only magic damage in the team and being more assassin focused, and it's questions that are very hard to answer.
And it's because it's not a question of really pure outscaling for either side. There are strengths to both of the comps that we did go over. And right now, Lorlo is moving up to try and take advantage. All right, since they can't get an engage on mid lane, they send him back down to split push, trying to go get the wave. Oh, they've made the call, because here's the flank.
Coming up. Can they make this play happen there? They're going to be surrounded, and Gnar's going to be late to the play. They get the knockback on a 1. Ryu kites back. He's going to stay alive. But the knockup is there for Conquan, buying a bit more. The exhaust and the arrow. The shield is up, but he can't put any attacks down. Piglet gets the kill into Expecial, and the fight continues. Zig gets the stun, but it's only out of the tank. Arrow sequestered up, and here comes the knockup in the front line. Piglet forced back Conquan as well. The chase is in, and Mike Young picks down Piglet. The shutdown comes through, though, for Slushy, and it's +1 so far for Liquid. They win the team fight from down in gold.
Pretty sick maneuver there from Team Liquid. They're able to deal with both of the main damage sources on Phoenix 1, starting out on Ryu, chunking him low, and then Conquan had to reposition and flash to go block all the autos from Arrow. I don't know about that start. Yeah, that was a little ambitious, even though they have a control ward turning off all of that vision. There is a control ward of Team Liquid's already sitting in the Baron pit, so can't turn those off. All right, here's the look again. Reignover initiates onto Ryu, so they chunk down this Ahri and they get her out of the fight. Ryu doesn't get to get any damage until Team Liquid have already found that kill, and Conquan repositioned to try and block most of the ultimate from Arrow. And they do end up having to run, and Mike Young on the Rex side does have enough damage to find that one kill, but I think it was a decent job of dealing with the threats there that Team Liquid were facing from Phoenix 1. Regardless, though, Arrow still got a tremendous amount of damage, even though some of the shots were blocked by Conquan.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to keep that as his #1 priority moving forward.
So much damage on Piglet. Mike Young is around. He smites. He gets the knock up. The kill comes through just at the end of it all. Knockback not coming in time. And here's the charm. Here's the attacks for Arrow. The bolt's coming in. He's got it in his name. They're all firing across. A bit of a trade, and they're going to trade one back as Ryu does drop down. The chase still in, though, for Mike Young. Ulti already been used. Finds another knockup, but Arrow's in the chase. One more shuttle kill off Slushy. Gets the shield and walks away as Lorlo can't get back in either. Cooldowns are down. Mike Young already ulted in that fight.
Oh, Slushy's playing with fire!
Fight is there. Knockup is in. The kill does come through. Mike Young will stay alive. Kills 4-1 in that team fight.
And now Phoenix One make this call because Lorlo's not there. They're trying to fight Team Liquid when Lorlo isn't present so they can take advantage and remove some of the threats before he arrives. It's a small timing window, but they execute so cleanly on those picks that Team Liquid now 4 men down, and it's Lorlo versus the world.
And can he make it happen right here? Of course, Phoenix One mounting this game pretty well, winning that team fight pretty nicely, and looks like there's just no chance in. Mike Young takes away 100 health left, and Phoenix One with the Baron now up 5,000 gold.
Take another look at this one because it is all about the picks. You know, setting up picks with vision. We have Kalista, Piglet again. He walks right next to this brush. Actually, he's done that a couple of times into the charm, and then he's toast here because doesn't have the summoner spells to escape. Mike Young didn't even have to use, his ultimate on that, so easy follow-up for more picks here. Special landing hook after hook. Slushy does, do a good amount of fighting for Team Liquid over that wall and gets that one counter kill, but he ends up dying as well with the chase to Mike Young there on the opposite side of the red buff. So really back and forth once again, even though Phoenix One have this very sizable gold lead.
The case, Liquid, just to point out, got their second Cloud Drake under that replay, so they had at least got something for themselves at the side of the map, but those don't help them fight champions, and being down 5,000 gold in the Baron buff is going to be hard to make the comeback work. But they will certainly try and do their very best, but Phoenix One poised to tie up this series.
Certainly looking to create more of those picks. Look at the control wards deep in the jungle. Phoenix One's greatest strength is this Fog of War, but Team Liquid group up and go for Zig, get the slow.
There. Zig should die for this one. The knock-up going to chain through all the CC. Pops the ult, has no flash though, and the Spear's going to keep lodging themselves in. There's not really a way out. There's the ring. All right, well, it's a 5v4 though. Do you opt in? The Ahri is far. It's right now Ryu in the mid lane.
Should just try and push mid lane, take down some damage on that turret. Ryu has an opening here. Even if you get a little bit of a chunk, weakening an inhibitor turret does have a decent amount of value. They regenerate very slowly.
Yeah, that damage is going to stick for sure. Keep in mind, the minions are going to hit a little bit anyway, so that regen is going to come in regardless. So that damage is damage for sure.
Really good, counter here from Team Liquid though. Again, these counter punches, this 3-man immediately charge Zig, chase him down, use the strengths of that Braum Kalista combo that you mentioned, chasing him down, getting that kill, and stalling out the Baron buff push from Phoenix One.
And Piglet's getting tankier over time. He's got the Hexdrinker in to deal with for you. He's got Death's Dance now on the docket as well, so a lot of attack damage and even more survivability as he's just stacking more and more of that lifesteal. Phoenix One playing around Arrow right now, going to drop off some of these wards. Didn't quite kill it. Sad day for Special. Just recall again as Arrow gets a little bit more gold for himself. This is the very common build, by the way, for Twitch. You do the early Ruin King, you go Hurricane, then you add the IE third, so you're not that far behind. And by endgame build, I mean, Blade of the Ruin King is the most aggressive of the lifesteal items, and considering most people want to have lifesteal somewhere in the build, your top end 6-item build is actually optimal anyway, so it's just a theoretical mid-game dip for the early game power of a finished Ruin King. He's a pretty good spot now, has the QSS, so Arrow's actually going to be maybe lacking armor pen or some other stat in his late game build as a result.
It is so important for him to be able to survive though.
Yeah, I think it's the right choice.
Yeah. The problem is I'm counting here, decent amount of knockups, knockbacks, and yes, there are the possibilities of Gnar flashing for stuns and Braum passive, but uh-oh, Zig under attack again.
And he's going to die for this one. Zig going to grab his 4th death of the game out of the Ren. This one going to go to Slushy, though, getting his 4th kill. He had a very, very slow start, but Liquid are finding ways to get back in.
Yeah, Phoenix One getting pretty sloppy with their split push here. Really no respect at all for the Team Liquid chase.
I want to give a small shout out to, I'm going to say it, Double Cloud Drake, because it lets them get to him in time. It's harder to outrun when they have 50 more move speed than you.
Yeah.
It does, it moves the needle in terms of catching up to that Renekton.
That's fine and all, but I still think that you've got to do your homework and lay your vision down
sure.
if you're going to split push up there. Yeah.
I do agree that they can clearly outplay the Double Cloud Drake. I'm just saying it's helping. I like to point out when it does help because everyone hates it and I don't, so I just wanted to give that shout out to Cloud Drake. I salute you. Baron power play. Yeah, well, when they lose all their champions, that's going to be very likely. They got less than the Baron's worth in gold. So Liquid, honestly, they're holding on.
Yeah.
Holding on, they're winning that top lane matchup.
And again, it is those repeat mistakes. It was the exact same scenario in a different location. Zig caught out on top side, chase down. Zig caught out on bottom side, chase down. Phoenix One aren't playing to those strengths we talked about. Clear out the jungle, fog of war, look for the picks. Yes, you do want to keep your minion waves pushing, but you have to do it and it is not that difficult to manage. Rhea though.
Gets a charm, but might have to ult away from this. Frozen Mallet, of course, is available. But Lorlo turned Mega Gnar, so it's going to be a bit harder. There's the flash. Oh, that almost picked off Rio. It was so close, but he just barely had the Spirit Rush back
And that is such a gamble. Even if you land that and you end up securing this kill, the Flash Gnar ultimate is one of the biggest team fighting tools that Team Liquid have. To be fair, they have a lot of team fighting tools with Orianna ultimate, Braum ultimate, Reign over initiating, Kalista. Yeah, there are a lot of things that they have.
There's a lot.
But that is a very big one.
It is.
That would definitely help in locking down Twitch specifically.
It definitely is important right there. And the thing is, as we're kind of talking about using the flash, there's no Elder up, there's no Baron up, and they didn't have the waves to kill a turret. So likely that's a flash for just a kill and nothing else, right? And by this point in the game, kills need to be more than just a kill, because a flash can win an entire team fight, which can win you an entire game. Oh well, but the play doesn't work out for Lorlo, and we'll see if it comes back to bite them as the wave clear continues. Right over level 16. Arrow waiting in the wings, 505, 300 minion kills for himself. Has enough farm to be on the scoreboard for sure.
Oh baby.
Charm means some damage despite the wards being turned off. Slushie at half.
Here comes Lorlo. Team Liquid might be going for another team fight. They still have a lot of tools to use. Lorlo close to Mega Gnar.
He's gonna find only one though. Arrow burns the QSS to get away. He burns the flash and not get brought in. So there is what that QSS was for.
Keep crossing off that list that we mentioned. Now no flash for Gragas, no ult for Gragas.
But they have the Conquan tools, and now there's no flash or QSS and Arrow. This might be the window to shut down the Twitch. The primary damage dealer of the squad. As they limp back and forth and look for the opening play.
Slushie's Shockwave is going to be absolutely critical again in this team fight. Last time he was able to save it for a really nice one until Arrow was moving in after the Twitch ultimate had expired and he had to move closer with the shorter auto attack range. Slushie was very patient with his Shockwave in that one. Might have to do so this time because Arrow is the giant DPS threat.
Gonna find body summon a 1, but now he's got to run back away. A bit of a slow on a Zig. No engaged tools allowed yet for the Renekton as they take down Scuttle, but that's actually Rend on cooldown. He missed the Rend kill, Piglet. So got to wait a few seconds for the E to come back, and it will be before the team fight comes in. 3 kill difference, 38 minutes in. Elder Dragon and Baron both up. Liquid actually have a better Elder Dragon. It's worth more stacks, but P1 kill either one faster because of the Mountain Drake they picked up earlier. Mid lane traded out equally. Neither team has a wave right now. Liquid can still knock down the outer turret, though they're happy to wait this close to it. Kalista also excellent at killing this Elder Dragon. The Rend and the Ruin King both helping quite a lot. Back they go as the mid lane meets yet again. Liquid first in the play. P1. Arrow keeps hitting Baron and attacking his teammates with it. A little strange there.
As long as you don't do it with your own hand. All right, Piglet goes in for Ahri.
Slow on a Ryu. Does have ulti though, and that's... Check off the list. One more tool down. Gnar flash up in 2 minutes, though not too far away. And look at this. Zig and Arrow going for the 2-man Baron as the rest of the team looks to buy time, and TL don't know about this, and now it's going to be too late. They're going to only have to trade.
Yeah, it's going to be a trade, and Arrow, or Ryu was trying to get a ward in there down on the Elder Dragon, but they are going to end up trading it because, Kalista also helps out with securing an objective.
Yep.
I really like the Baron buff, but you have to really respect the extra true damage here with all of the crowd control that we mentioned. Even if he has a QSS, if Arrow's getting hit with stun combos here, he's gonna die.
He is gonna die, and it's still a flashless Twitch for the next 2.5 minutes here. I think for the next 2.5 minutes, he would need to wait this buff out. I think they actually lose a team fight on average against a triple power Elder Dragon.
And that's the thing. They would like to spread out. The difference between these two buffs is Baron has better pressure when pushing multiple minion waves if you have safety tools. There's a Thresh Lantern for the mid lane. You can press up in mid lane with someone. Ahri herself is inherently very safe due to her ultimate. The problem has really been Zig split pushing and him being caught out.
He is almost a death leader other than Xpecial getting jumped on quite a lot, but at least Xpecial's been in team fights pretty nicely. Still has that 2.0 KDA. And we'll see this game just on a knife's edge at this point. We know that now that we're 40 minutes into the game, it's very likely that one team fight can almost secure a game. The death time is going to be about a minute long at this point in. Only 3,000 and change separating them. Lourlo very safe on the wings, and he's adding more damage. He got the Mob Mortis a while ago and now building towards what I assume to be Guardian Angel, more so than Bloodthirster. So a very high damage Gnar, we know he can kill Zig 1v1, and in fact, he can kill Arrow 1v1. He can kill almost anyone in a 1v1 here. I don't think anyone beats him.
Again, he's got 400 CS here on the Gnar. As we said, the real strong point for Team Liquid through that mid game. Now, everybody else really catching up. But
Arrow
definitely bridged the gap here. Looks like he's
Oh,
under
it's a
a
2v1! Zig baited out. Lourlo has to fly, but the stun is there. He's gonna die for it. Arrow backfilled the lane.
Hook, line, and sinker. They had caught Zig so many times and punished him so many times that Lourlo just jumps right in there and gets annihilated by the Twitch.
And this is the difficult part now. 5v4 for a minute. Ryu splitting topside means it's a 4v4 on the other sides of the map. Is that something that Liquid can play around? Or are they going to start bleeding out the map right here as top lane 2-2 has already fallen? And he's hitting the inhibitor turrets as the rest of P1 looks down for this bottom lane.
And these are those differences in the strengths of the buffs that we mentioned. Baron so much better for the spread out. Team fights, not really an option here now that Lourlo's gone. So Team Liquid trying to collapse under
Body
Ryu.
slam, explosive cast, flash just gets him out, and you should be able to hit confirm body slam out of the ulti, I believe. He goes for the auto attack in between, I think.
After the change, I mean, you guys keep mentioning that, but after the changes, it is so close with the travel time of the ultimate.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why people, stopped, dropped the champion initially. If you go into practice tool, it feels like you can possibly do it, but I haven't been able to. You obviously can't get another person in there to spam flashes, but it looks like on target dummies that there is a fraction of a second window time.
He may have had to ult while still moving with body slam or something, right?
If you're spamming the spell in the exact correct position, I think you can pull it off, but the margin for error is so slim that I actually don't criticize heavily for it.
Okay. Well, thank you for the feedback. I am not much of a Gragas player, so thanks, Kobe, for the insight there. And either way, the flash did come through in time for Ryu, so thankfully for him, loses out on only a summoner spell. Raynor himself didn't go for much of a follow, and he didn't try to predict the flash really either. Blue buff going to go over to Slushie, and looks like the Baron buff will time out, as the result being a kill onto the Lourlo, and 3 turrets picked up, 2 in the top lane, 1 in the bot lane. Baron power play not looking excellent because of all the other farm Liquid got, but truly it was a lot of map control game.
While we're discussing, Gragas practice tool as well, one of the ones you can do is R first. It does require that you are closer so that you're in the initial R range. And it's much more difficult to pull off because you have to
Signal.
Get the position right much earlier. But you can do it that way as well.
Okay. Cool to know. Item builds completed for Zig adds a Thornmail in here, so Piglet really can't lifesteal tank him anymore, and he's hugely armor stacked. The only magicist item is the Gargoyle Stone Plate. Full build also in for Mike Young, who's pretty much armor stacked on top of this one. Nothing else to buy for Ryu, nothing else to buy for Arrow outside of upgrading his USS. And down line on the right side, actually, there's still space for Slushie, space for Rainover. Piglet otherwise in a pretty equal spot.
Meanwhile, Phoenix One trying to starve out the vision. Wards start to expire in the jungle, and they're continuing to keep Team Liquid boxed in here. But again, it's kind of a catch, right? Because Team Liquid want you to be grouped up. They want this chance at the game-winning team fight. It gets later and later into the game. The death timers are so punishing, and Team Liquid have so many AoE crowd control abilities for the team fight. They really just need it to work one time at this point. And if it does work well enough and they get enough of the members, Arrow included, then Team Liquid still have a very real chance of winning this game, even though Phoenix One have very good pressure at the moment.
Let's see what comes through then. Zig once again splitting up. He knows that the threat of Arrow has slowed down Liquid's likelihood of going after him. Phoenix One playing for Baron. It looks like 1 minute 15 till that spawns. And they're saying, yep, ward control is our game. Let's look for picks. Let's just take out jungle camps right now. They are playing the vision side of this, and they're playing patiently. Zig doesn't want to threaten a turret. He doesn't need to. Looks like P1 wants to win off his next Baron. Liquid seems like they know this, and they're trying to play back provision here, putting the wards down and getting rid of the ones in the mid lane as they shove in mid. They've got priority here. Maybe they can use this to get down the river. Mid outer had died a while ago.
Here comes the
waiting.
flank, actually.
They get the Banshee Veil off of Ryu. Doesn't need to ult out, though. No chase to be had.
Again, Team Liquid do have strength in numbers, so they know that Phoenix
Arrow's
One
really far.
aren't looking to take the 5-on-5.
Yeah. Arrow's on the other side of the map going for the red buff right now. He knows it's spawning up, needs to grab that, and I don't blame him. There's no Baron to kill just yet, 25 seconds away, but it means Liquid should and do get Scuttle control.
Yeah, a little bit of an early smite, but gets it still with the W-empowered auto. All right, Arrow has opened up in the middle of the lane.
And he's full build now. He's got 80% crit chance. He's got the Ruin King double life steal scimitars in. His flash is back up. The only summoner missing right now in the game is Ryu's flashless for 30 more seconds. Unlikely to mean a kill comes through, but it is the one thing that they can track. Everything else is open and ready to be used here. 4 kills apart. 6,000 gold still puts Phoenix One ahead. The Liquid still go back and forth in the mid lane as both teams clear the minions out. This is the fight. This is the one that's going to close out the game. You almost have to assume.
Keep your eyes on Arrow.
Twitch is the star. 6-0-5 has yet to die. He's played it very well so far in this game. Max level, max build. Only thing he's missing is the red elixir, which he could afford, but doesn't have time to go back to buy now.
Now he does have his double summoners available. All right, vision advantage in the small pocket over to Team Liquid, but it doesn't matter if there's vision for Phoenix One in the Baron because there's not much you can be doing there except for waiting to kill us in the push.
Absolutely the case. A little bit of time bought, and Arrow's able to kill away Control Ward and that Callista Sentinel.
Minions on the inhibitor right now. Someone
Yeah.
make their way over there.
Lorlo goes. He has teleport, and it also allows him to build up a Mega Gnar bar, so he'll be able to build up the Rage. And in case there's a play to be had, he can transform pretty quickly. Looks like that's going to be Mega Gnar, going to transform them back down to small. The rest of the team did recall, and now it's Phoenix One going back in for the attempt on Baron. They're going to start it right away. The rest of the team recalled, and Liquid are too far away. They can't maybe get here in time.
The Mountain Drake, remember, for Phoenix One was their one Drake they got.
It's burning down too fast. Rainover can't get in there in time. This might come through to Mike Young, and Rainover going to die for the attempt to even try. Jungler down, Arrow's godlike.
Uh-oh, this may be the key for Phoenix One unlocking the base inside. Looks like they can push up 2 lanes at once right now, going top and mid. The exposed inhibitor on top side. They shouldn't feel the need to face check any brush. So, Ryu has flash. He should be able to escape.
Only missing the Banshee's Veil, and that's not going to be too much. He shoves the waves. His guys, they're all missing. Let's wait. They know with the 5v4, the 4-man squad should be safe.
They know they have
one.
to
Here's the
cautious
attempt.
here.
Biglet wants to end the flash away. Yep. And Ryu's out just with the ulti.
Yeah, that one's definitely reaching a little bit, but they are desperate, and you can just feel how desperate they are after giving away that Baron.
And they have to give away this at the very least. It's 5v4 for only 25 more seconds. They can wait for Rainover. Inhibitor not yet dying, but they want to get the auto attacks in. Mid lane, Inhibitor turret falls. Ryu still split pushing nicely. Biglet looking for the play. Banshee Veil still on for Ryu. Makes it so easy for him to stay alive. Top Inhibitor does fall. And the base is starting to crumble as Phoenix One stretches that lead to 9,000.
Elder Dragon #2 is on the way as well. 15 more seconds here, and Phoenix One are positioning to take the Scuttle Crab first and set up for that possibility. Lorlo has his teleport, so if Team Liquid want to make their stand,
Yeah. P1 have the tools, though. They've got Baron buff, and there's no flash on Rainover, so one of those tools are a bit blunted there for Liquid. Ryu getting a bit of poke, but mid priority will go over to TL right now.
they've got
Arrow.
just so much power in the team fight. They're bullying Phoenix One off.
Yeah. But it was miscoordination that screwed them over earlier. Bot lane 2-2 will fall to a minion wave. Nice job by Liquid making that wave happen. Here's the attempt on this Elder Drake. Elder Dragon. They're going to start stacking Ren. P1 is here. They could walk down. Maybe they want to fight for the Dragon.
Arrow goes invisible.
They'll have the attack speed buff. It kites back. 6,000 health on the Elder Dragon.
Oh, he's right next to him.
Not going to land. Arrow flashes back away to stay alive, and he's going to stay as safe from the explosive cast. Conquan now buying time in the front. Mike Young in the front lines as well. Here comes the attacks, and the shield is going to fall. Conquan is gone. Shockwave on it 3. The follow through. Can he get it? Yes! The big Mega Gnar collapse on a 3. Now can Piglet make it happen? As the Ryu goes to the back lane, gets the charm, gets the shutdown, and the bleed comes through. The kills are coming through fast and furious. Here's the chase for Rek'Sai, killing spree for Mike Young, and the rest of TL starting to fall over. It's only Lourlo left alive. Phoenix 1 do win the team fight. Summoners used, but the kills are in.
Oh, Phoenix 1 strike back, and they should be able to get into the base to end it after that one. Even though that was a 3-man big combo from Team Liquid, they didn't get Arrow inside the combo, and the Twitch absolutely annihilated them.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. The minions are there. He's still going for the turrets. There we go. Off the inhibitor, onto the turrets. They're going to fall. Lourlo, the only one alive, and he cannot possibly stop this. Phoenix 1 gonna make game 2 happen. It took a while, 51 minutes, but Phoenix 1 tie up the series.
And that means we are headed to a decisive game number 3.
Yes, we are, and it's gonna be a fun one. You gotta believe that. Whew. Not the most convincing. There were options here for Liquid, but that Baron sneak, seeing that Liquid recalled and said, you know what, we can rush down this Baron, kill the Vision, Reignover can't get here in time. And they were right by half a second. Reignover had actually flashed into the pit the same instant Baron had died. He was almost there for the Baron steal, and maybe that game looks different from that point on, but P1 made the call. They were quick enough, and they made sure they got it.
Yeah, they danced around this team fight composition for quite a while. And then in the critical moment here, it all came down to that dragon fight.
Yeah, the dragon fight, when we get the replay, we'll play it there because that's what it did come down to. The gold was close enough. The items basically equal. The replay, I believe, is ready in a second. And it is all about Arrow, who had opened up and then said, I'll flash away when it's time.
All right, here's the initiation. Arrow goes right next to Lourlo, gets a couple of shots. He was looking to bait out some of their CC. He did get the Gragas ultimate out, and then they're able to focus down the front line here. Conquan dies at the beginning. This shockwave does hit 3, and Lourlo goes in to capitalize on top of it. But on the bottom of your screen here, Arrow firing away. They're happy to sacrifice 3 members for him to get off those autos. Meanwhile, on the dive on the backside, Ryu and Mike Young actually made very quick work of the DPS for Team Liquid.
Yep.
That combo was super effective in diving the backline, while Arrow just melted the front line.
And it was really good because Piglet had a proper defensive build too. He had Mercurial Scimitar, he had Malvin Mortius, and he even had Death Stance. Like, he had reliably good anti-mage sort of durability tools, and Ryu still had the damage because he had so much gold, had done so well so far on the Ahri. So, you know, just well done on that backline dive. Absolutely, the assassination came through. But now we have our analyst standing by to break that game down further. Take it away.
Thank you, gents. They were taking a look at that final fight, and that's where I want to start as Phoenix 1 strikes back and extends us to a game 3. But in that final fight around Elder Dragon, things actually looked pretty good for Team Liquid through the midway portion of that fight with a 3-man Shockwave into a 3-man Gnar ult. The damage just wasn't quite there to finish everybody off.
You kind of have to like work your way backwards to find out why they were missing a couple of their tools, because Piglet didn't have flash for that fight. And it feels like if he was either able to kite out Ryu and Mike Young a little bit better, or be able to follow up on that initiation, one of the two with his flash, maybe they're actually able to kind of win that fight. Maybe not, you know, win it decisively, but at least trade more even than 1 for 4, which it ended up being. But you look at Piglet lost his flash because they went for this crazy pick-off attempt on an Ahri who just ulted away from it easily. Why were they doing that? Because Reignover flashed into the pit to go for some desperate last-minute Baron steal. Why did he do that? Because they all backed off at the exact same time, and then they gave up Baron for free. And it's this kind of like chain of events that leads to that final team fight where they had the right champions to potentially win it, but they had just blown too many of their cooldowns to be able to.
So what's the underlying issue there, though, in each of those mistakes?
It doesn't feel like they play with any sort of composure. The Gnar is grouped up the entire time as opposed to dealing with that wave, building Fury, getting ready to TP in. They have teleport the whole time, so that's pretty safe. And then once he does finally go back, the entire team goes back as well.
Yeah, and they looked for picks in that brush for so long. When they had control of Midwave, when they had control of Baron Pit, Team Liquid just went into the bush and sat there. They're going to get Prey Seeker. They're going to get spotted every time they move. And we saw them check with abilities constantly from the side of Phoenix 1. They're not going to face check that. They're going to go down mid or top towards your inhibitors. They're not going to go towards that Baron area, and they'll just keep sending the Scryer Orb. So I feel like that was a kind of a... They're trying to they're misjudging their opponent, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're trying to think that, you know, their opponents aren't as smart as they are. And I think that that's a big flaw because you just clear top wave. You can even get control of Baron Pit. Then you'll come back for mid. That's fine. But at least you get those minion waves off of your inhibitor at the top, because then when everybody went and reset, Phoenix 1 took the Baron with no damage ending up on it from TL at all.
Yeah, so some late game composure lacking there for Team Liquid, but the fact that we're even talking about, them being in it there at the late game, given how the game started, remember, we have to talk about Mike Young and his attention to his lanes, creating that early action, getting many early ganks off here to help out his laners.
This is the power of Thresh. That's why it's so strong in the meta right now, is you can take any matchup, winning, losing, and potentially get a crazy gank off to sway it in your favor. This one stops Team Liquid right as they're starting to pressure. Swings mid, where he also has a good matchup, the Ahri, trying to set stuff up, able to connect on once that charm hits, goes for the flash follow-up, and then just being able to help his team out anytime that things look like they might be going bad.
Yeah, that right there, that was dirty. Ryu with the charm ends up just like pretty much no counterplay there that could come through from Slushie at all.
Right, so you've got, Fed members in the mid lane and the bot lane for Phoenix One, so the gold is on the right people, which is again why it's kind of crazy that we're even talking about the fact that Team Liquid is still in it, because again, you followed up with multiple 4-for-1 trades in favor of Phoenix One, 17 minutes and at 30 minutes into the game.
All these team fights are going well for them. There's some misplays on the side of TL. There's no Braum shield here to block out the Twitch ultimate that's hitting all 3 members. I don't think it was on cooldown. Maybe it was. We'd have to go really far back to check. But he throws it up here at this point once Piglet had already been blown up and killed. So a nice 4-for-1 there on the side of Phoenix One. The thing that was kind of slowing them down was that Especial kept getting picked off, and Zig was losing in that side lane split push that TL had the Gnar matchup for.
Yeah, which I think the Gnar pick was quite good into the Renekton. But this again, another moment from Piglet. He did this in game 1 where he went too far close to the bush as Kalista did that game 1 in top lane, and it really just kind of sucks away all the pressure from Team Liquid, and then they give up objectives, they give up pressure off of that, and Piglet, I feel like, is getting way too far ahead of himself in those moments.
It's a zero reward play where you hop towards the bush where you have no vision control. They had a pink ward down the other side. If you're trying to wave clear aggressively, maybe go to where you have vision and don't worry about potentially someone being in that brush, because they had zero vision control on that top side river.
And it's definitely in almost no circumstance the AD carry's job to do that.
Well, yeah, and the cost of that play, the cost of the misplay was the 4-for-1 plus the Baron. That's where Phoenix One is able to get their first Baron of the game. And again, you can see, although the gold grab does, kind of stagger in multiple places, which speaks to Team Liquid's ability to find picks at times, Phoenix One still, in large part, had control of this game from start to finish. Ryu is going to get player of the game for this time around on that Ahri in the mid lane. You saw it in multiple of those replays, being able to start the ganks off himself, land the crucial charms that allow Mike Young to follow up and secure the kills.
And of course, that final fight that we saw as well, when he's able to get onto Piglet, if they don't finish off the Kalista there's a decent chance that he actually runs kind of wild in that fight, because you have that super high lifesteal build. If you don't get blown up, you kind of take over fights.
Yeah. That said, I do want to talk about Team Liquid's comp here, because we had some praise for what they built in Game 1. I personally liked the comp that they built here in Game 2. Again, it feels very much like a Team Liquid composition where Piglet's still going to have that opportunity to dance around fights and display his mechanics and possibly carry the game, as long as he has all the tools available to him, while Slushie's on that Orianna, able to kind of support in any way, shape, or form. And then you still have, Lorlo as a separate win condition in the side lane, possibly scaling late as a split push threat on Gnar.
It should work out well for them, and you even saw anytime that the game stalled out, it didn't feel like it was totally out of their hands yet.
Right.
They could still match in team fights as long as they didn't start with a pickoff. The problem was their discipline was not there, and they kept getting fights started with someone dying or getting chunked out right away, and they didn't just play safe and let the Gnar kind of take over the game.
Yeah, they could have had the Gnar split push, and then when they got to a point where they got picked off, they went, okay, Gnar needs to kind of group with us so he can face check brush or walk up and then get away. And then that's not the right play either, because now he's not providing split push pressure. So I feel like what happened was they kind of got scarred by some of those things that happened in the mid game where they got picked and then wanted to group a whole bunch.
And both of these teams sitting at 6-1, desperately looking for another match victory. We're all tied up in the series. Meet us back here after the commercial break to see if Team Liquid or Phoenix One come up with the win. See you soon.
The one item power spike with that major potential.
Flashable play. Piglet with a cheeky flash to the left-hand side, but now there's no escape tool, so a quick jump from Mike Young means first blood. We just have this simple 300 gold for Phoenix. One nice shockwave, and here comes Mike Young. The charm is there, and he thought it was a good play, and it didn't even matter.
Coming. Good job. I'm going Gura. Gura no flash. Gura no flash. Gura no flash. Gura got two, bro. I got him. Nice. Good job. Go back. Push back. I'll push back. Come on, Braum. Drag us. I go Braum. Orianna here. I go Ori. I'm going Ori too.
As Ryu goes in the back lane, gets the charm, gets the shutdown, and the bleed comes through. The kills are coming through fast and furious. Furious. Here's the chase for Rek'Sai, killing spree for Mike Young, and the rest of TL starting to fall over. It's only Lorlo left.